afternoon, I'm Charles Lejano. This is One News Now. The 14 missing crew members and passengers of the Liberty 5 fishing vessel may have been trapped under the capsized boat. Not a single one of the missing Filipinos turned up after 4 days of search and rescue operations. Coast Guard spokesperson Arman Balillo said in a radio interview that should this be the case, the fishermen might have gone down with the boat 2,000 meters below sea level. Coast Guard has been searching only up to 100 meters underwater. Commandant Vice Admiral George Ursabia wants to continue the search, and the PCG will seek assistance from neighboring countries to have the machinery or equipment to reach deeper into the sea. The controversial anti-terror bill is inching closer towards presidential approval. Malacanang spokesperson Harry Roque says the copy approved by both chambers of Congress is now up for final review by Executive Secretary Salvador Medaldea.
Ibig sabihin po, meron na pong memorandum na recommending a course of action to the President. Subject to final approval lang po siguro yan ni Executive Secretary at dadalhin na po sa lamesa ni Presidente.
The Makabayan bloc in the House of Representatives is now appealing to the President to veto the proposed measure, citing possible rights violations. The bill is set to lapse into law on July 9, repealing the Human Security Act of 2007.
It will have a chilling effect, no, sa ating mga kababayan and magreresulta ng napakaraming rights violations. So hangga't hindi po dapat ito, no, hindi po dapat ito ipatupad at ang panawagan natin ay veto terror bill.
Footage of the aftermath of the shooting incident in Jolo, Sulu shows some lapses in the handling of the incident. News 5's Patricia Mangune joins us live for more details. Pat, there are two sides to this story, of course. Could you tell us what the evidence is telling us?
Charles, the new video showing the events that transpired after the shooting in Jolo is a significant development in the case. However, this new evidence is raising questions as to how the police and the army personnel handled the crime scene.
In this CCTV footage, 4 lifeless bodies are seen sprawled on the street. They are the intelligence operatives of the Philippine Army who were shot dead in Jolo, Sulu on Monday. Men in uniform and civilian clothes are seen walking around the remains. One even lifted the head of one of the victims, opened the SUV's door at the driver's side twice, and scanned the vehicle. Former AFP Chief of Staff retired General Ricardo Visaya posted the video. The Philippine Army has verified that the men in the video were soldiers who rushed to the scene in the hopes of rescuing anyone alive and recover personal belongings.
Kasi naka-receive na sila ng calls from one of our witnesses, yung isa naming operative na nakakita ng shooting. Tingnan nila yung mga identities ng nandun sa nandun sa area. Chinek nila yung pulse kung may buhay and secure the vehicle, no?
The soldier who opened the car door was identified as the older brother of one of the slain operatives, Corporal Abdal Asula, who drove the vehicle before his demise. The Philippine Army admitted their lapses.
Well, the lapses really is yung pagbukas ng pinto, pagkuha ng personal things ni Corporal Asula. First thing that came into his mind is to secure his things and make a makeshift pillow at i-secure yung ulo ng kapatid niya.
It was apparent also in the video that the crime scene was not immediately cordoned off with a police line, and there was no police present at the time. When the PNP SOCO and Sulu Provincial Director Colonel Michael Bawayan arrived, they were able to get permission to retrieve the intelligence equipment.
May pananagutan ang Jolo Municipal Police dito dahil base sa ating mga standard operating procedures, kapag may insidente at may naganap na shooting o kaya pagpatay, kailangan ma-preserve agad.
Aside from the 9 cops involved in the shooting, Jolo Municipal Chief of Police, Lieutenant Colonel Walter Anayo, was also relieved from his post. Meanwhile, families of the killed soldiers are still grieving the death of their loved ones.
Po maintindihan bakit kabaro pa. Sana kahit justice man lang. Yun na lang po talaga.
Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana chose to withhold judgment until the investigation of the NBI is concluded. He paid his respects to the families at the mortuary of the Libingan ng mga Bayani. Lorenzana also called on both the police and the military in Jolo to not let the tensions escalate.
Advise our leaders, yung mga military leaders natin, to control the people. Anyway, meron namang investigasyon eh. Kalabas naman totoo. So.
The NBI has finished its forensic examination on the slain soldiers. The results showed that the victims sustained several gunshot wounds. The NBI says it will issue a subpoena to the police involved in the incident. For News 5, Patricia Mangune. We are One News.
Philippine National Police Chief Archie Gamboa assures the public that the relationship between the military and the police remains unhampered despite this incident. Gamboa says that their relationship is founded on a long shared history of cooperation and brotherhood, and that the two units are interoperable as they're fighting the same enemy. Army spokesperson Demi Zagala echoes Gamboa's statement, saying that the PNP is their partner in maintaining peace and security.
We must not judge the whole PNP organization, and that with this change of mode of killing, of or how our soldiers were killed, from misencounter to killing, we're headed towards a positive direction of coming together to find out the truth.
Meanwhile, Senator Risa Ontiveros has sought a Senate investigation on the incident. Ontiveros adds that the shooting feeds the public's distrust towards the PNP. Time now to pause for a quick break. Keep it here on One News. Still watching One News Now, I'm Charles Lejano. Over 290 new COVID-19 cases were reported today. That's the lowest number of new cases for almost a month now. Only around 50 are fresh, while over 240 were reported late. There are now more than 38,800 COVID-19 cases in the country. 4 new deaths were recorded today, pushing the death toll to over 1,270. Total recoveries now stand at more than 10,670, with 235 new recoveries over the past 24 hours. Netizens are pointing out that the DOH has already reported over 46,000 positive cases. And this is well above UP Diliman's prediction for end of June, which presidential spokesperson Harry Roque had downplayed. Marian Enriquez tells us more.
Netizens pointed out that as early as June 28, the health department's tally already showed 46,000 positive cases. But come June 30, the DOH only reported over 37,000 confirmed cases. Verheri explained that all positive results have to undergo a validation process before they are considered confirmed cases. She says the validation process makes sure that persons tested repeatedly is only counted as one confirmed case.
Ang ating ginagawa, pag nakuha natin yung unique na positive na na-identify ng lab, kailangan natin yung i-validate. So una, tinitignan natin if there were duplicates. Pangalawa, kung may error sa mga pangalan. Pangatlo, kung natag na siya sa ibang laboratorio. Pang-apat, kung pang-ilang test na ito, baka mamaya repeat test na pala ito ng mga ibang tao. And then pang-lima, nakakakita rin kami with this line list of the lab na binibigay sa amin ng ibang hindi pa rin natatag dito sa Epidemiology Bureau.
But the agency admitted that they are still grappling with testing and validation backlogs, even though the country already has 65 testing laboratories. She says it takes some time before positive cases are validated and tagged as confirmed cases, but it doesn't mean the government is deliberately misreporting. Benjamin Vallejo, a science policy advisor from UP Diliman, noted that from the get-go, the country is not 100% prepared for a pandemic like this. Therefore, we do not have the necessary data reporting infrastructure for the efficient reporting of cases.
Wala pa tayong capacity for real time unlike sa Germany or in China. Okay? Dahil isa rin naman alam niyo naman ang ating infrastructure for data reporting, okay? For example, sa China, hospitals are able to report it immediately to their health ministry, no. Sa atin, medyo kailangan natin improve yung ating data infrastructure.
Over 6,000 traditional jeepneys have been given the green light to resume operations starting Friday. But the government has a few reminders to the drivers and commuters. Gerard De La Peña with the details.
Rodrigo's jeepney is not yet due for registration until next month. But he had to immediately sign up at the LTO after finding out that jeepneys will once again be allowed to ply his route along the Baclaran-Sucat stretch.
Kahit ilang pasahero lang, pagtataga namin. Wala lang na pakain sa pamilya eh.
The LTFRB has opened up 49 routes where 6,002 jeepneys will operate starting Friday, July 3. Operators don't have to secure special permits as long as they are registered with the LTO and their vehicles are deemed roadworthy. That means wheels are aligned, emission is clean, and brakes and lights are all working. According to the guidelines, they just have to download a QR code from the LTFRB's website. But since it is still up for maintenance, the agency decided to just publish on its Facebook page the names of allowed operators. Those who don't have QR codes will not be apprehended until Sunday.
Pagbukas po natin ng mga PUJ routes, supposedly kailangan natin ng special permit. But since these are existing routes, we also would need to know if the PUJ that are running on the road are the ones that are allowed to run on those routes.
Those not in the list were disappointed, especially those who invested at least 2,000 pesos just to prepare their jeepneys for the expected resumption of operations.
Sobrang nangihinayang po kami na ni isa man lang dun sa mga pinakita namin, pinaghirapan namin, hindi po kami napasama.
The Transportation Department said more routes will be opened in the coming days as they gradually resume public transportation in Metro Manila. As for the fare, authorities said there will be no changes in the matrix. They also reminded the commuting public to pay directly to the driver and avoid passing around money with fellow passengers to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. For News 5, Gerard De La Peña, we are One News.
For more updates, follow News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis, and you can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. We are One News.